Jody, Crewe up next as the season winds down. Despite losing narrowly in midweek, is there still an air of confidence around the side at the moment and yourself?
Yeah, I would hope that they're obviously the disappointment of losing a game will never go away, but there's ways in which you lose games, and like I said, I think the players can take credit and a lot of positives from the game the other night. I know I've said it many times, but on another day that's a win for us if we get the right decisions. So yeah, listen, we realise that we're not in a bad moment at the moment, albeit coming off the back of a loss. That was certainly a positive performance for me, especially in the second half, and I think we've got to continue to build on that.
So Crewe will pose a different challenge to Stevenage in midweek, at the wrong end of the table. What sort of task awaits your side?
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever you go up against Stevenage, quite regularly, I think the next team will offer you a slightly different challenge. But yeah, Crewe are a bit of a mixture. I think there's some decent footballers in the side that like to play with the ball on the ground quite a lot more than what Stevenage do. But yeah, listen, if you look at their last few results, it's a bit of a mixed bag. But for me, that's the league in a nutshell, to be honest. So yeah, listen, I'm more interested, I know I've said it a lot of times, but I'm more interested in us continuing to build on the positives that we've had of late. And also, it's not ideal because obviously travelling on the day of the game up to Crewe is never the best prep. But it's something that we have to deal with, make sure that we're ready for that side of it. And like I said, continue to build on the positive notes that we've had of late, and try and finish the season strongly.
A really difficult result to take in midweek of having played so well, and obviously a lot of decisions not really going our way. Would you say, is there an added determination within the squad to get a result and bounce back on Saturday and use that disappointment to take into the Crewe game for 3 points?
Yeah, I think there should be. I hope there is, and it'll obviously be something I'm talking about today, because I think when you get to this stage of the season, it's pretty easy for everyone to question the kind of motivation side of it. But obviously when it's so new to my tenure here, I'm continually analysing players, seeing what they're like in different situations, and also seeing what we're like off the back of contrasting styles and how we approach that. Like I said, there was a lot to be pleased about in the week, but we can't forget that there has been games, particularly games against teams that are at the lower end of the table, that we haven't produced the sort of level of performance that we're capable of. So that's something that's in the back of my mind, that making sure that the focus is on going there and getting a performance that we're capable of, and one that we've been showing of late.
And we'd be sort of looking back at maybe the Wimbledon performance, an away fixture against a side again at the bottom of the table, really putting that side under pressure, getting goals. Do you sort of take elements of that game in your preparation into Saturday?
Yeah, you're right. There'll be similar things that I'm sure that, well, I know that there's a couple of clips already that we've shown previous to the Stevenage game, but they will probably ring true maybe a little bit more from an attacking aspect. But at the same time, even from a defensive, getting after the ball type of game, that obviously going after Stevenage and the way that they played, there was an element that we wouldn't really be able to get after the ball and press high. I think that we'll get more opportunity to do that at Crewe, and like I said, even though that at times if you play against a good footballing team or a team that can make some passes that can take out a few of your players, it also is an opportunity to show a different side to your game, i.e. like a Bradford, where I felt the energy was there and getting after the ball, and playing against a team that believe that they can pass through you gives you opportunities to win the ball high, and also I think lends itself a little bit better to how we're set up as a team at this present moment. So yeah, we'll be looking to capitalise on it.
And just on that Wimbledon game, you forced them into a lot of mistakes as well. That energy, again, is that a key element to Saturday? Maybe you can get at Crewe early, really get amongst them and force them into errors.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you would try and do against any team, regardless of the style in which they play or where they are in the league. But yeah, listen, I'll be looking for. We've shown a defensive side to our game of late, particularly over the last 4 games, but one that's kind of been a good mixture. We've defended our box really well at times. We competed really well with a very physical side, both at Wimbledon and at Stevenage in the week. But I'd like to see us again get after it a little bit more, a bit like we did at Bradford, who are an extremely good team. And yeah, listen, I'd like the defensive side to be there and as solid as it has been of late. And albeit I think there's still moments where we can look after the ball better and make less mistakes ourselves. Because even at the like I touched on before, the Wimbledon game and even at Stevenage in the first 15-20 minutes, we didn't really look after the ball as well as we should have done. And Wimbledon, we turned the ball over and beginning of the second half. I'd like to eradicate those and try and improve on those moments too. So plenty to look forward to and plenty to be focused on.
And without giving too much away on the injury front, how are we looking heading into Saturday and obviously the Crawley, the last game of the season? Johnny Williams potentially back in the mix?
No, I think we're struggling with Johnny, to be honest. I think he might be out on the grass for a jog today just to see how he's ticking along, but I don't think he's going to be available for Saturday. So he'll need to be assessed again, I suppose. And Tom Brewer, it looks like he's out as well. So, yeah, we're thin on the ground with bodies at the minute, but something that we've got to deal with.
And just finally, the likes of Jackson Brown, Harrison Minton, you've had a few young faces in the lineups over the last few weeks. I know you're asked the question a lot at the moment by press. Is it a possibility they could feature or at least be included and get some valuable minutes as the season ticks down? Yeah,
well, Minno's got a real good chance. But yeah, Jackson Brown, I think that he was a little bit unlucky at the Wimbledon game that he didn't get on, because I think when you have moments to try and give rewards to young players that have been doing well, there was an opportunity against Wimbledon maybe to do that if a couple of our players weren't on yellow cards that were in defensive areas. So slightly unlucky Jackson was there, but it's good enough for him to be involved at the minute and just being in and around it. So yeah, there's another chance that he might get an opportunity to be on the bench. And like I said, if the opportunity is there to give young up-and-coming academy players a taste, if the opportunity is there, I'll definitely use it.
All the best on Saturday.
Cheers, mate.